To talk history now. What do you say I ask you 2 or 3 questions about that? See if you've been paying attention. See how much history you know.
Sure, why not?
Good. Let's start with one of the defining moments of our recent history. A tragic event that had such an impact, it still defines how the city looks today. Here goes. What occurred here that is known as Black Monday?
That would be the chemical strikes on the city 11 years ago.
Correct. On January 6th, 2025, at 0800 hours, the butcher, Colonel Williams, decided to use a newly discovered chemical compound, the THV Gen Mod, to eradicate the virus. Hope of reclaiming control of the city turned to tragedy. Millions of residents were killed. It also caused terrifying mutations of the infected, turning them into what we now call specials. The chemicals are still potent to this day. Don't go near them. Let's discuss the March Massacre. You recall what happened on that day?
The army killed 64 civilians protesting against weapons confiscation.
You actually have been paying attention. This is correct. This shooting triggered the escalation of riots in the city, which finally led to the fall of General Pratt and Colonel Williams taking over. The army confiscated all the guns and ammo. It all started there, south of Houndfield, by the monument of the World Art Congress. The last question. Let's go for a moment out of Villador and take a global perspective. Before mutating to become tacky transmissive, THV was simply known as Harran Virus. Harran is where it all started. But do you remember when the Harran Events happened?
In early spring 2014.
Bravo! I'm impressed, young man. Indeed. The virus emerged during Harran's Global Athletic Games in 2014 and went dormant after the city was quarantined. It was subsequently turned into an exclusion zone by the GRE. I remember those would-be games. I even took a week off to watch them. My country had many medal prospects. No one expected it would become hell on Earth. The virus resurfaced 7 years later in a mutated form, THV, after escaping from a Level 4 laboratory in Geneva. But that's the part everyone knows and never talks about, since it's what caused the fall. I commend you on your knowledge, young man. Never stop seeking more. And never forget, we're always just a few burning history books away from darkness. Here's a small token of my appreciation. Should teach you a bit about one of my favorite parts of the city, the catacombs.